Russell Westbrook's Lakers saga is dragging on and on. If we're being honest, we don't see it being resolved anytime soon. The best possible solution for Westbrook was being involved in a trade for Kyrie Irving with the Brooklyn Nets, and it seems that this might also be his only option this offseason. There's some more movement on Westbrook's future prospects, and we'll be taking a look at that. But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First up, Russell Westbrook and long-term agent split. In what's being considered a shocking turn of events, Los Angeles Lakers' Russell Westbrook has parted ways with long-term agent Thad Foucher. It's being considered shocking because of a couple of things. First of all, Russ and Foucher have been together for almost 1.5 decades, and while it's common for players to change agencies and agents, it's not common for them to do it so suddenly. It clearly shows that there was a difference of opinion between the two people, and we're guessing that the topic of disagreement was certainly quite big. Secondly, it's surprising given the current situation of Westbrook. His future is up in the air, and there are no guarantees that he'll be continuing with the Lakers in the upcoming 2023 season. At the same time, he's not the most attractive option for other teams to trade, and that means he's not been attracting enough interest in the market. If we had to guess, these two things might be interconnected, and that could be the reason behind the split. We'll obviously dive deeper into what Foucher said after the news broke, but all things considered, this news could be a huge factor in determining where Westbrook is playing at the beginning of the upcoming season, and Foucher has a lot to say about it. If you take Foucher's word for it, there were irreconcilable differences that led to the split. Breaking the news, Adrian Wojnarowski talked about how the two sides didn't agree on what move Russ should be making next. The agent believed that his ex-client should remain with the LA franchise and spend the final year of his $47 million contract there. It doesn't take a genius to guess that Westbrook's difference of opinion meant that he's looking for a move away from the Lakers. Foucher mentioned how the new Lakers coach Darvin Ham had publicly backed Westbrook and pointed out how he'd be a crucial part of what the Lakers want to do next season. This support, along with the starting role that they're offering, is something that the 33-year-old should embrace, according to his ex-agent, as that would be his best option. There are enough arguments on both sides to back up the difference in opinion. After the kind of season Westbrook had, it's not surprising that he's looking to move on, but at the same time, Foucher's concerns are well-founded and very much in line with what the best option is for Westbrook. Perhaps the best way to describe this conflict would be Westbrook's insistence on finding a better playing environment with support from the fans, while Foucher's insistence is on finding the best possible financial deal and monetary benefit. But the agent fondly reminisces on the partnership. Despite the obvious differences in opinion, Foucher was full of admiration for his client and looked back quite fondly on their partnership. And why wouldn't he? They brought the best out of each other as Westbrook's quality and talent allowed his agent to find the best possible contracts every time he moved, including a max contract, which is not an easy thing to get, just ask DeAndre. Foucher added that his agent would be in line for a fourth trade in 4 years, and it just wouldn't work out for his agent considering the market is asking the Lakers to add additional trade value with Russell for any trade scenario. It's not only disrespectful for a player of Westbrook's quality, it's also a huge drop-off, and there's no doubt that from a selfish point of view, staying with the Lakers would do wonders for the 33-year-old. Either way, Foucher's concerns were definitely in Westbrook's interests, but we've got to applaud his comments and the way with which he revealed all this information. It's very rare, in fact. We can't really recall any agent doing this before, and it offers huge insight into how trades work behind the scenes. Let's take a look at what it could potentially mean for Russ. So what does all this mean for Westbrook's future? One thing's obvious. Westbrook really wants to leave, and that's why he took such a huge step and ended a 14-year partnership with his agent. But this much you would have guessed on your own too. However, it could also point to the fact that a potential deal with the Nets involving Kyrie, which is being rumored so heavily, is still up in the air. And if that is the case, then the parties involved are finding it a little hard to conclude a deal, and maybe with a new agent, things can move much quicker. And if we consider Westbrook moving a certainty, that means there are some fractured relations at the Lakers, and Russ is probably in the midst of it all. It's certainly not good news for the Lakers fans because you don't want to see a disjointed dressing room, so they'll be looking to move him on. And that means, even if a move to the Nets doesn't happen, the Lakers will look to find the best possible solution and a decent return by finding a trade for Westbrook. The likes of the Washington Wizards and Utah Jazz have been touted as potential landing spots for the point guard. But do you see this one materializing? Now, let's take a look at some other rumors. First up, what happens to Donovan Mitchell? After finding a trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves for their problematic French star Rudy Gobert, the Utah Jazz is actively looking to trade their other superstar Donovan Mitchell as well. Trouble in paradise? Well, it's way worse than it looks. Bucks, but the fact that the Jazz is even considering a move means a lot for both sides, in particular the New York Knicks. There were rumors about a package containing everything but the Statue of Liberty for Mitchell, but as it turns out, realistically, that won't be possible. He's a fantastic player, don't get us wrong, but we don't think that the Knicks will offer that much for him, and they shouldn't do it either. In fact, the Jazz should also be ready to accept a slightly reduced package, and it doesn't mean it'll be a bad one. The one being rumored now contains the likes of Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, and 4 first-round picks. We feel if they don't accept this offer, they might live to regret it in the years to come. Mitchell isn't bad, but he won't be playing at the highest level for the Jazz, and it seems that a move is the best possibility for all parties involved. Next up, Kevin Durant could still move. Even though it feels that someone has poured cold water on the KD saga, there's still a deal to be done. Durant made his feelings known about staying with the Nets, and before officially requesting a trade, he was defending Kyrie and explained how the Nets management could have done more to back him. It clearly signals his desire to find a new home, but it won't be easy because KD's contracted to the Nets for the next 4 years. On the other hand, a deal could still be done, with the New Orleans Pelicans potentially still interested in providing KD with a new home. And no, they won't be trading Zion Williamson, so yes, we could potentially see Zion and KD link up. Oh my, it's going to be scary, but not for the Pelicans. Apparently, the hierarchy at the Pelicans believes that they can find a way to trade KD for Brandon Ingram, Devontae Graham, and 3 first-round picks. And if we're being honest, the Nets should budge and accept the deal. They won't find anything close to what they're looking for, and it's not ideal to have an unhappy star on the side. Finally, Patrick Beverley to the Lakers. While they're looking to actively close a deal with the Nets for Kyrie, the Lakers are actively looking to add to their roster before the close of the offseason. Even though Mark Stein has repeatedly said that there's no chance that a deal happens because the Lakers aren't pushing for it just yet. But come on, Rob. Pat Beverley for Horton Tucker and Max Christie? It makes way too much sense to just write it off. Beverley is 34, and the Lakers will be close to opening a retirement home at this point, but he'll fit them like a glove. They want to keep Braun happy, don't they? Well, a signing like Beverley propels their chances of winning the championship, but it doesn't make a lot of sense in the long term. But then again, it's hard to see them thinking long term as long as LeBron stays. In case you didn't know why we rep Beverley, just know that his three-point attempts, percentage, and defensive box plus-minus statistics are simply fantastic, and only 6 players in the history of the NBA can better those numbers. Make it happen, Rob. That's a wrap for this video. Where do you see Russell Westbrook playing at the start of the 2022-23 season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.